All right, back to the Beatles, folks. Well, working with Paul McCartney led to me working with Sting. I've said before, Paul McCartney opened many doors for me because from one of the biggest, if not the biggest person in show business, you can kind of go anywhere, and you're going a few steps down the ladder. So I got to work with Sting, toured with Sting, and in Turkey, Sting would always do yoga. He's a big yoga guy.
Really?
And in Turkey, he's in this beautiful place, and there's this window, and there's this curtain, and the light is shining through the curtain, and then the wind would blow the curtain away, and a shaft of light would descend down on Sting while I was doing yoga alone in this tiny room. Anyway, I shot a film of that, and it was included in something or other. And that segment alone is just about 3 minutes, and I'm going to put it up here. Here it is.
Yes, we were talking about it.
Some of you have seen it because I had a channel previous to this one called Octagon 7, and it's up there, it's still there, and I can't do anything about it because after Google bought YouTube, I got locked out of my account. I can't remember my password or whatever. So anyway, and then we'll stay on Sting for a second. After a bunch of tours with Sting, I worked a lot of the 90s with Sting after Paul. Paul was 93. I did Sting up until maybe 97. And then suddenly it all stopped. And it was all over. And then I was like, didn't have any work for a while. And then I said, well, I guess I should file for unemployment, unemployment compensation. So back then you had to go to the unemployment office, and eventually it came to the point where you just did touch-tone phone thing to register and say that you looked for work and everything, and then you would get your check. And it was annoying going to the office, but after a while, just doing the touch-tone thing was annoying, Because no matter how easy things get, there's always a reason to complain about something, you know what I mean? So anyway, I go to the unemployment office, and the guy goes, well, where have you worked over the last year, or whatever time span they ask you? I said, let me see, well, I worked for Sting. He goes, Sting, the rock star? I said, yeah, that's Sting. He says, so you want to file unemployment against Sting? And I said, yeah, I guess so. That's like the only place I worked last year. He said, okay. And then like a month later, I get a phone call from England. And I'm like, hello? He says, this is, his accountant was a guy, I forget his name, but his nickname was, I forget his nickname too. But anyway, this guy, he says, Michael, this is blah, blah, blah there. Hey, what's up there? What are you doing, man? You filed unemployment against Sting? I was like, yeah, the guy told me to. The thing, you can't file for unemployment against Sting. It's just not done. I was like, okay. So I never got to work for Sting again because I filed unemployment against him. And but I rescinded it, so I never got any money from Sting.